All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone to the DC Universe Online keynotes. I'm really glad to see all of you here, and we're of course joined by a lot of people on Twitch TV, so hello. Let's say all hello to them. Hello. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot of stuff that we're excited to update you on right now. We're going to go through a lot of stuff, so keep your questions to the end. Actually, are we having any questions? I'm not sure. We'll figure that out. We'll wing it. See how much time we have. So first of all, direct your attention to the screen to my left and notice our kick-ass new key art. How awesome is that? And let's give a big hand for Sorcery actually making it onto the mentor image. Yeah! Whatever, Catwoman, whatever. All right. What's that? Oh, somebody's got a nitpick. Okay, so... All right, let's get started here. First thing I want to go through with you guys is kind of talk a little bit about what we promised you last year at SOE Live. Okay, we announced many DLCs, and we're going to do the same this time. So toward the end, I'm going to tell you another roadmap about all the DLCs you have to look forward to this year. So first of all, Home Turf. We talked about launching that with the new base system. That was a really successful launch for us. A lot of players creating bases. A lot of people getting out there looking for all the different prop items that you can put in your base. I'm sure that you've seen a lot of videos on the internet in terms of like crib walkthroughs and stuff like that and what people are kind of capable of. So that was a lot of fun. We look forward to expanding on the bases and base features moving forward as well, including base PvE content, not just PvP. So look forward to seeing some iconics invading your bases in the future. Origin Crisis was that next DLC, that culmination of the launch storyline, bringing together how Paradox, all the Paradox demons and Lightning Strikes tied in. This was a huge... Did you guys like Origin Crisis? Yeah? All right. Was it hard enough for you? Yeah? Okay, good. Well, we agree. It was really hard. It was very, very hard. You guys requested some hard stuff, and we delivered. Maybe a little too hard, okay? So we are actually going to be going back and taking a look at some of the abilities in Origin Crisis, especially those like half-second one-shots that the Luthers and the Batmen can get on you in the raids, and we'll be widening out the timing on that a little bit to just make it a little more forgiving, and we'll be looking at some of the difficulty levels and lowering those on the lower, the smaller group size content like the iconic anomalies, just to make those a little easier for some folks. They're not going to be trivial for sure, but it was a little too hard. That's the feedback I think most of the people have given us, so we're going to be backing off on that just a little bit. So we also talked about a DLC called Halls of Power, right? Didn't we? We talked about league halls and all kinds of league management overhaul we were going to do. And a lot of people were wondering where Halls of Power was once we announced Sons of Trigon, which was also a DLC we announced last year at SOE Live. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with League Halls. First of all, I have some very good news for everybody in here. League Halls are not going to be part of a DLC. They're going to be given to everybody. All free, premium, and legendary players. So it doesn't matter what your account status is. You don't have to purchase anything. You can get into a league, and you can enjoy all these great features. So that's going to be awesome. But there still is a Halls of Power DLC. So we're going to talk about that later when I go through the roadmap. But what else did we promise with Halls of Power in its original, before we rethought what we were going to do with it? Armories. You guys remember this? Do you guys want Armories in the game? Yeah, me too, really badly. So we've been working on that. We're working on it right now. I don't have a date for you on when they're going to hit, but I can also tell you this. These are also not going to be coupled with a DLC. These are going to be, everybody in the game is going to get an armory. You're going to be able to save a spec, a loadout, a build for your character, the items that you have on that character, and the appearance as well. So everyone, free players, premium, legendary, you're all going to be getting an armory to enjoy. So that's really good news. Armories will allow you to basically imprint a version of your character on it. And as you can see here in this concept art, it will actually be something that you can place in your base. You'll be able to see it there as Batman would when he goes into his vault to see all the various armors he has for different situations. You're going to be able to recreate that. Additional armories will be available for purchase on the marketplace, so you can kind of have as many as you want, fill up your bases with these things, and have all kinds of builds and things to bounce around to. I think this is a great feature because I often find myself, even in PvP situations, wanting different builds, different loadouts, and different things depending on the mode, the gameplay mode that I'm going into. Same thing with PvE. What type of content am I going into here? Do I want to use brick, or do I want to put brick on the shelf right now? It's hard for me to put brick on the shelf, but I'll be able to do that with Armories really easily. So we're really excited about that as well. And we'll talk more about what Halls of Power is, and you guys are going to be so excited when you hear about it. Okay, so let's talk a little more about what we have coming up next here. Ooh, hello. There we go. Sons of Trigon. Yes. Okay, this is a new magic-based DLC. We've announced it. You probably saw a letter on in the announcement section on the forums detailing what this is. We're going to be doing a lot of live streams in the coming weeks detailing different things about the DLC, like the powers and stuff like that, walking through them in great detail. I'm going to touch on some of that now, but look for information on our Twitch channel or probably through Ted on Twitter and the forums and stuff when we're going to be showing you that live. But basically we have some new duos. There's going to be 3 of them. They're focused around Trigon's sons. There will be Envy, Wrath, and Lust, and also some bonus bosses in each of those duos with their other 3 brothers, Gluttony, Sloth, and Greed. So really cool cameos as well from iconic villains and heroes. We're really taking that approach that we've did with Origin Crisis that you guys like, where there's a lot of sort of surprise or dynamic sort of spawning of the bosses. Who's going to be riding along with you this time? Is it going to be one of the fearsome 5 who we're introducing to the game? You know, Dr. Light, Mammoth, Simon, one of those guys? Or is it going to be one of the Titans? Which boss are you going to fight in this version of the instance? You never know until you kind of get in there. So keeps things fresh, keeps you guys on your toes. The various combinations that you're going to be facing will keep things really dynamic for you. So we're excited to continue that, continue down that road with our DLC. What else here? We have the Gotham Wasteland zone. This is really cool. So basically, we've taken iconic locations like Amusement Mile, the Cathedral area in Gotham City, Forum of the 12, the hospital area. All these have been redone in this sort of hellish landscape. Do y'all remember in Robinson Park how you have the Trigon area where there's all the floating earth kind of coming up off the ground? Well, we took that to the next level. Imagine that on a huge scale, big chunks of the city flying around you, and you're on this one part of this Gotham Wasteland, and you're dealing with all the Envy, the Sin Demons, the Sons of Trigon, and their minions, their cult, all in these areas, going into the duos in each different area. It's all themed after them. Great-looking NPCs, too. I was never a fan of the models that we had for the Sin Demons before. A little Power Rangery for us, I think. And we had the art team re-envision those, and I think you're going to love what you see. The Wrath Demon specifically, you know, gives me a "you shall not pass" moment. It's very, very cool looking character. Big horns, giant tail, very powerful looking. So we're psyched about that. You're going to see new Legends characters. Who's psyched about Donna Troy and Cheetah making it to the Legends roster? Did y'all wanted a speedster on the Legends roster, right? Well, you have it now. So everyone was wondering, is Cheetah going to be a speedster? Yes, she is a speedster. She has all sorts of custom animations. We started with the kind of feral look that you get with Catwoman. And we added new animations to give her an even more kind of feral, animalistic approach to her combat. So it's really quite exciting. She's got the sound team did a great job on the sounds for her as well. You know, we really pushed her kind of cursed nature and the magical aspect of her with her abilities too. She's really fast. She has an execute maneuver, so that's always fun to use too. When somebody gets down below that 35% level, you can unleash some really powerful damage on them. So she's a great character, and Donna as well really taps into the spirit of you know, the Amazonian weaponry that they get from the gods. You know, Wonder Woman has her bracers and her lasso and things like that. Well, we actually invented some new ones for Donna to augment that a little more. So her powers and her tray aren't just like big, powerful, you know, super strong animations. She actually has some really beautiful effects that are magic-based items that bestow powers upon her. So she's really terrific too. Really looking forward to that. And of course, you can see Wonder Woman and Circe here. They'll be making appearances in the Legends roster too on the marketplace later this year after Sons of Trigon is released. And then we, of course, have some celestial powers. Now, I'm going to show you a couple screenshots of celestial right now. So here you go. You can see a little bit of one of the trees, the blessed tree. We're going to actually show you some gameplay for celestial toward the end of this stream, or this panel. So look forward to that. I'm not going to touch too much upon it now. We're actually going to show you this a little later. So what's coming up next? We talked about the roadmap last year. I told you about 4 of the DLCs, but we're going to go into in-depth about what's coming up down the road. Let's go to this next slide here. First of all, I want to talk to you about this, statuary. Okay? Basically, it's leaderboards. We got leaderboards coming to DCUO for PvP and PvE. We didn't want to just make a list with some number rankings on it for you to sort through. There will, of course, be a list that you can look at, but we wanted to translate this into something that felt very DC. When you walk around the Watchtower, you see giant statues of Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. You know, these guys celebrate their achievements in great ways, and we're going to let you do that too. So here's how it's going to work. When you get your league hall, when you're in your league hall, joining your league, you're going to be able to, if you have permissions to decorate, and this is all inter-league management, you can all sort this out yourself, who gets to put these down. You're going to be able to choose a bunch of different statuary pedestals. These pedestals will actually have a certain type of leaderboard attached to them. It might be just for top number of kills. It might be just damage, just raw damage output. It might actually take a few stats, like number of rallies and number of deaths. It's very creative kind of combinations that create all different kinds of rankings for you and your league to enjoy. So it's not just sort of a one-trick pony about who's going to get all the damage. You can choose as a league what kind of achievements you want to celebrate, whether they're PvP or PvE, which ones you think are, you know, important to you. Maybe you have somebody that's dominating the charts. You want to get some other people some time in the sun. There's always going to be a leaderboard you can search for that gets a wide variety of your league mates out there and up on these pedestals. So we thought this was a great way for you guys to celebrate that, those leaderboards in a very visual and visceral way. And the way it's going to work is it actually takes your character, what they have on, and it will actually display that on the stand for you. So you're going to actually see these giant statues of yourselves in and around the league halls. And they'll change every month. Every 30 days, those leaderboards are going to update, and you have new people up on those statues. You can choose to keep the same ones up there to kind of see who's rotating up and, you know, top dogs in the league on these certain categories. Or maybe you want to start switching them out every now and then. It's totally up to you. So that's how we are imagining leaderboards in DCUO. Sound cool? Yeah? All right. Awesome. Okay, so those will be coming to a platform near you soon. All right. Let's talk about DLCs and the roadmap and story and stuff like that. And I also want to talk about briefly, you know, what we have in store for you in terms of DLC structure. So let's talk about that first. We've definitely, you know, over the last year to 2 years, we have made some interesting choices in terms of what part of our audience, what part of our player base we're going to target with each of these DLCs. You know, some people really only want a solo or duo. Some people really only want a raid. Some people only want a PvE or PvP. It really depends. So, you know, we tried to target these DLCs sometimes very specifically towards certain people, like with DLC 4, The Last Laugh, very much PvP facing. We've also tried to do like DLCs that are all things to all people. It has a solo, a duo, an alert, a raid. Those seem to leave people wanting more that like a particular thing, and they feel the DLC might be a little diluted for them. So what we've done is we've fallen into a rhythm. This isn't a secret to some people, but if you don't know, I'll fill you in. We're actually going to be alternating the cadence of our DLCs. We're going to be doing large group DLCs and small group DLCs. Sons of Trigon is an example of small group DLC. It was preceded by Origin Crisis, which is a large group DLC, which was preceded by Home Turf, which was a small group DLC. Okay, so this rhythm, we're going to keep this cadence up as we go through the DLCs going forward. So you're going to see things that are more targeted towards solo, duo with an alert, or you're going to see things that have raids, alerts, and maybe a duo or a solo or something like that, depending on which one we're going to focus on. But large, small group, that's the important part. Now, tier gear, when we introduce new tiers. is a very important part of this process, and I think we've done a lot of learning in that in the last 2 to 3 DLCs. I think with this new structure and cadence of large group and small group, it's very important to introduce the new tiers and the half steps in the gear at the right time. In this particular case, we introduced a new tier with large group content, and that's leaving people asking a lot of questions about what does this mean when I get the solo stuff, what's in it for me if I've already gone through all of the raid stuff. I can tell you right now, just as a little side note, not as many people as you think have actually completed the Tier 5 gear. Okay, those raids are very hard. There are a lot of people, a significant amount of people, that are still gearing up in that tier. So Sons of Trigon will be a very, very, very welcome addition to the game to them because they need to actually do that more solo stuff, the more duo stuff that isn't quite as challenging, having 8 people making sure that they're doing all the right things at the right time. Now, we're going to sort of realign the type of DLC with the introduction of the tier structure over the next few DLCs. So what that means is next time we introduce a new tier, we're going to be introducing it when we do the small group content DLC. This will give us the opportunity when we put out the next DLC that follows 3 months later with the large group, will allow us to put in some gear that's appropriate for the challenge level when you go into the raids and the operations. So we did get that a little backwards in the last one in hindsight, and we're going to make that adjustment as we go forward based on your feedback. So we're really excited about that. All right, now, that being said, let's talk about the content that we're going to be doing in these DLCs. All the good things about DC Universe Online that draw you here. The characters, the stories, all that kind of stuff. So you know that we like to do ongoing story arcs, not only in the launch title in terms of the missions and the various storylines that we had going through up to level 30, but we've also been using the DLCs as an opportunity to wrap up some of those storylines or even further some of those storylines. For example, Sons of Trigon is the culmination of a storyline in the Magic line that was in there at launch, dealing with Trigon, Sentinels of Magic, and Brother Blood. We wrapped up the big launch story with Origin Crisis, as I said earlier. So what we're going to be doing, our plan right now, is that we are going to be doing 3-part story arcs with these DLCs. In other words, we will be introducing storylines that will encompass 3 DLCs. And these will not necessarily be done in sequence, but you will see part 1s, part 2s, part 3s with the various culminations or the story arcs that go through here. So let's talk about one of those right now so I can just give you some context of what we're talking about. You guys see some characters up here you like, by the way? Yeah? What? No, that's actually a Brainiac ship. Sorry to disappoint you. Somebody asked for those at home if that was the anti-monitor over there on the left, but no. No, it's not. So any Green Lantern fans in the house? Yeah. All right, good. How about Wonder Woman fans? Fewer of those. Some of y'all have your priorities backwards. Okay. All right, so let's go through here. Let's talk about the first one. So DLC 9, War of the Light, Part 1. This is going to be a 3-part story arc that's going to go over 3 DLCs. The first one will be introduced in DLC 9. It's going to introduce a brand new core into the DCUO universe. So you're going to see, dare I say, where's Eric? Where's Eric? Can I say it? All right, Saint Walker and the Blue Lanterns are showing up in DLC 9. By the time we're done with War of the Light, I promise you we will have exhausted the emotional spectrum. You will see everything in there, and maybe possibly even a few colors or absence thereof by the end. Who got what I'm saying on that one? Yeah, you like that? All right, that's cool. All right, good. So you're going to be looking at the next sort of evolution of what's going on with the Green Lantern. So let me give you a little teaser about what you're going to see here. You're going to be in a new version of Metropolis. It's going to be the full city, okay? But it's going to be rethemed to have the content that's dedicated to War of the Light. And over the 3 parts of the DLCs, we are going to refill Metropolis with Green Lantern content for the War of the Light DLCs. Okay? So you're going to see this progress in the city as you go. In the city, you're going to see Mogo and ranks in the sky. They are going to actually be coming to Earth, drawn here by the turmoil and the sort of stuff that's going on with the DLC. You're going to see ranks launching his cannons at Mogo. He's using shields. The War of the Light is erupting in the stars in the skies above Earth, right over Metropolis, and it spills out into the streets. It's going to be pretty epic, and we're really excited for you guys to get a glimpse of it when we start talking about DLC 9 in the future. All right, so let's talk about the next one here. Yes, a little Wonder Woman love going on. We're going to do Amazon Fury, and this is also going to be another version where we're going to fill up one of the cities again. We're going to reskin it again. You noticing a pattern here? Okay, we're going to start getting you back into reimagined versions of Gotham and Metropolis, using new storylines for you guys to explore. Because how much you guys loved going through 1 through 30 and all the storylines out in the open world, right? Y'all been asking for more of that for a very long time. You're going to get that. We tried it with Hand of Fate in the operations, trying to pepper stuff in between. We're going to get rid of the in between, and we're just going to do something totally new with the cities. So that's going to be awesome. The Amazons basically are going to be going to war, declaring war on the mortal realm of men. Hippolyta's gone a little off her rocker, I guess. We don't understand. Wonder Woman doesn't quite understand what's happening. Maybe some invisible jets flying over the skies of Metropolis. It's the best asset we've created ever. So easy. Done. So the Amazons are going to be kind of spilling out onto the streets. You're going to see amazing creatures from Greek mythology, the Amazons themselves, and the story will unfold as to what exactly is going on here with them over another 3-part DLC called Amazon Fury. That name is a little temporary right now. Working title, right, Eric? Yeah, working title. All right. So we also talked about something else, Halls of Power. Anybody have an idea who might actually be the big bad in the Halls of Power? No? All right, here, I'll give you a hint. Apocalypse, Dark Side, New Gods. All right, so what are we doing with this one? We talked about Halls of Power at SOE Live last year. We said it was going to, focus on League Halls, and it was going to, bring Armories into the fold. I've obviously just updated you that those are all going to be update features. Everybody's going to have access to them. So what is Halls of Power? Well, the base system, which will include lairs and halls and hideouts, if you've got a little hovel to hang your cape in, are going to be getting a significant amount of development for new content, both in PvP but mostly in the PvE side of things. So you're going to be actually able to defend your lair. Well, that's going to be true with Halls of Power when we introduce the new gods into the game. You actually are going to be traveling to Apocalypse and New Genesis to take part in some of adventures there, discovering some of the remnants of the Third World. And when you do that, you're kind of hitting the hornet's nest. And guess what? They're going to counterattack in your League Hall. So you're going to be defending your League Halls from the likes of the new gods, both from Apocalypse and New Genesis. How's that sound to you guys? Pretty cool? All right, so Halls of Power unfolds a very cool, introduces a much requested faction and piece of the DC lore into DC Universe Online, and we're really looking forward to it. So make sure you have the right statues out there to impress the forces of Apocalypse and New Genesis as they come invading your bases. Let's see, what else we got here? Next one. Oh, PS4. You guys hear about this? We're going on PS4? Yeah? All right, it's very exciting. One thing you should know about that, very important, is we are working right now very hard so that we can make that launch window. Our intention is to actually hit the launch date. You will be able to download DC Universe Online on your PS4. And guess what? You do not need a PlayStation Plus account to play it. You are truly going to be able to play it for free. So that is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to people getting their hands on the game on the PS4. It's a really powerful piece of hardware, and I think it will really do the game justice. You're going to see much improved textures and detail in the environments. The LODing that you might see on the PS3, level of detail out in the distance or for certain animations and things like that, will be increased. It'll feel a little bit more like the PC version, which has a very much higher fidelity experience to it when it comes to the animations and the draw distance and stuff like that. So we're really, really excited about that. The games are the same. It's not a separate or new title. It's not DCUO 2 or anything like that coming to the PS4. It's DCUO. We fully plan on supporting the PS3 for a very long time. There's no intentions of doing anything different on that platform, so there's no need for you to worry about will the game continue on the PS3. It absolutely will continue on the PS3. But here's the best news. A lot of people are wondering if there was going to be some sort of messy divorce here between those that wanted to be on the PS4 and those remaining behind on the PS3. Will my league split up? Will I be able to play with my friends? And of course, yes, the answer is yes. You will be able to play with your friends. Those are going to be on the same servers, so PS3 and PS4 on the same server. All of the progress that you've made on your PS3 character will transfer over to the PS4. It should be totally seamless to you. You will be able to log on to your characters, have all your progression and everything as if you didn't miss a beat. You shouldn't notice anything except for the reduction of money in your bank account from buying the PS4. I can't help you there, but we're doing our best. Okay, so what we're going to do now, because I know what you guys really want to see is probably the new power, right? You want to see Celestial a little bit? All right, so let's have Mark Hallish, also known as Tunso on the forums, our lead systems designer. He's going to come up here and help us out and show us a little bit about the Celestial powers. I'll talk about them a little bit while he's going through that. Just wait till you're ready. Oh, there we go. He wants me to vamp. I'm not good at that, though. So Celestial powers are very cool. You saw some screenshots of them. There's been a lot of talk of whether or not, why do we need Celestial? We already have Sorcery. They're very different. Okay, so Sorcery is a bit, you think of a magic user in D&D or something like that. That's Sorcery. And you think more of a cleric in D&D. That's more along the lines of Celestial. Our inspired buys for Celestial powers. Never have a marketing guy come up here and click these buttons, I guess, is the lesson. This wouldn't have happened at Bally's. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You good? One moment, please. I know. Did you click? Did you click it? I did. There we go. Well, I'm not sure what... do we have somebody working on that right now? All right. We're working on it as we speak. See that? All right, so while he's logging in there, I'll finish what I was saying before. So our inspired buys for this new power, the heroes will, if they want to do the inspired by Celestial, will get the Spectre. Although, I'll just tell you right now, the power level of Celestial and Spectre's raw powers, don't expect to be snapping your fingers and exploding people. Yeah, okay. And you'll see a bit of the new style that we have, the exalted style, which is sort of inspired by the holy side of stuff. So you can see the little halo on there and everything. Let's have you turn around and actually give a look to the camera on this. There you go. We'll zoom in there. Nice. All right, so you can see kind of the halo. There's basically 4 new styles. Yo, you can clap for that. That's all right if you like it. All right. There's 4 new styles that are coming with this. We have one that's based off of Raven. And it's the Raven from the new 52, actually, and it looks really freaking cool. And we have a Brother Blood style as well coming out. You'll also see this Exalted style, which is sort of modeled after and inspired by the Blessed side of Sorcery. And you'll see a Demonic style, which is sort of modeled after the Cursed side of Sorcery. And you can see a little bit of the Gotham Wastelands here behind Mark. You know, there's bits and pieces of Gotham. There was the cathedral in the back. This is the Wrath area where Jared, one of the sons of Trigon, is massing his Wrath demons. They've taken over the cathedral. This is the graveyard in here. Actually, fly up to the top of, acrobat yourself up there. Rocket-assisted glide. And look back toward the sky. You can see the sun and or the moon and the stars. There's one window of it. We'll do that after, actually. Just go ahead back down where we practice. We'll show them the powers. They want to see the powers. All right, so the other side of things, on the curse side, you're inspired by is Eclipse. All right, so you'll notice that in the colors that you're going to see here. This is a lot like Light in the sense that a hero will get a very different look on their weapon swooshes and their basic attacks than a villain does. In this case, he's actually playing a hero, so you'll notice that his weapon attacks are actually going to be having, kind of a glowing yellow golden light to them. The villains would see something more along the lines of Eclipse. The celestial powers are really cool. It's a healing support role power. It, of course, has also DPS stance and options in there as well. But the healing is like nothing you've ever seen before. We introduced the combo power, or power comboing with light powers in Fight for the Light. And this allowed players who purchased various powers to combo after they activated the power off of their power bar. They could execute a combo on the keyboard or on their gamepad, and it would actually launch into another version of a power that another power that they own, which they could then chain into another power. And this could go on forever as long as you had purchased all the powers where they combo too. This celestial power uses a similar principle. It has power comboing in it, all right? But here's the difference. It's actually a crossover to the 2 trees. So there's a blessed tree and a cursed tree, and you can use any power that you have in both trees, and you can cleanse it or corrupt it to get the opposite version. So if I were to activate a certain power, I could combo into the corrupted version of it, and I would get the benefits of the corrupted version plus some extra stuff on top of that. All right, so the tactics and skills required to pull off Celestial are very, very cool. They're challenging to master, but very beneficial. Now, what's different about Celestial from the other powers? Why is it not sorcery? Why is it not nature or electricity? Well, first of all, it strikes a good balance between burst and heal over time. So you're going to be burst healing. It's a nice moderate balance between burst healing and heal over time. But the cool part about it is the healing is based on your damage output. So this is an active action healer. This is your battle healer, okay? If you're the kind of healer that doesn't want to stand back and pay attention to bars or play it kind of safe, you want to play Celestial. Because when you jump into the action, you're actually going to be activating some of the Celestial powers, and all of your damage output and your comboing is going to be boosting your healing, okay? So that's a very cool point of difference to it. As I said, you'll be able to do the crossovers with the power comboing. I would say that it's in between sorcery and nature, as Jesse Scott, otherwise known as Sport, has told me. It has that nice balance between burst and heal over time. It's a very skill-based power, and I know a lot of you are wondering right now if the DPS is based on precision or might, right? Who's thinking that? Yeah? A bunch of you are? All right. It's both, I'm told. It does favor precision a little more, but it does have might options for you guys as well, so you can kind of take your pick there. And as you can see on the screen behind me, I think also, did you all notice the new iteration on the combat icons? Do you see the difference? Smaller, a little more crisp, less intrusive, but easier to pick out. Yeah? What do you guys think of that? Pretty cool? Yeah? All right, Super Toad likes it. There you go. There's a new Wrath Demon I was talking about. That replaces just that red guy that you used to see out in the open world. And these new demons will actually be making it out into the open world as well. So all of the old Trigon content, like Kondok when Black Adam sucks the power out of Brother Blood, and all those giant demons appear, the Wrath Demons, you're going to see these guys now. Okay, so all these improvements that we made to these characters are actually going to go retroactive back through all the Magic content that dealt with the Sons of Trigon. So we're really excited about that, and these new models are very, very, very cool. What do you guys think of the Celestial powers right now? Pretty cool? I agree. I think they're going to add a brand new way for you guys to heal, a new exciting power to master. Really should change up your tactics and how you think about healing in the game. Having one of these guys on your roster if you're running through a raid is going to be a really nice augmentation to having with one of the other healers, because you can really have these guys actually mixing it up and in the battle. You know, I think controllers have enjoyed an advantage over that over healers in that respect for a very long time, and Celestial is going to sort of bring that back into balance, I think. So there you go. I think that's pretty much it for what we need to update you on. You know, to recap, we've still outstanding. We have the league halls to give you that we promised you from last year. But you know, we did do SOE Live a little early this year, didn't we? It hasn't been a full year, has it? Has it, Russ? Been a full year yet? No, not quite. So, you know, we were cheated out of time a little bit here on that one. I blame the big suits over there. No. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be doing Sons of Trigons coming out this fall. Hopefully the sooner the better. Then we'll be moving on to DLC 9, which you just all found out is War of the Light Part 1. And then we'll be rolling on from there. The rest of the DLCs, I'm not going to say, are in any particular order between Amazon Fury and Halls of Power. And again, you're going to be getting the League Halls for free. Everybody's going to be getting an Armory. You can purchase more as you see fit, depending on your play style. And a lot of good stuff coming your way this year. So thank you all for coming to the keynote. I look forward to answering your questions and seeing some of the rest of the panels that we have for DCUO this weekend. So thank you all. Appreciate it.